Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a reverse charge transaction using the application. Once you log into the application, you will be redirected to this page. You can either use purchase entry tab here, or you can go to transactions. Under transactions menu you can select purchase entry. In case if you have not selected the GSTIN in this drop down, you will get a pop-up message to select the GSTIN, so you can select the GSTIN accordingly and you can create the transaction. Since reverse charge transactions are created for those purchases made from an unregistered supplier, I'm going to select an unregistered supplier. Once you create a supplier who is not registered under GSTIN, you will get a pop-up message like this saying the supplier is GST unregistered. Do you want to include reverse charge? If you click on yes, this transaction would be considered as a reverse charge transaction. So I am going to click on yes here. If you select no here, this transaction, though is for unregistered supplier, will not be flagged as a reverse charge transaction. So once you select the supplier here, the state code would be auto populated, and the invoice number, you need to give the serial number for the reverse charge transactions. So assume that this is the third transaction and the last two reverse charge transactions were given a serial number of 1 and 2. You can give this as, in case if the series you have set it as RC, and the serial number you have started from 1, and if this is the third transaction you can consider this as RC3, and here you need to select the invoice type. Here I'm going to select regular, and the product you can select it from the drop down, you can add it using this button, and you need to update the rate per unit and the quantity and the net value, which is again a mandatory field. If you have availed any discount, you can update it here. So the taxable value will be same as your net value in case if there are no discounts or additional expenses. And since it is between two different states, the transactions, since the seller and the buyers are from different state, it would be a IGST transaction. Here you need to update the tax rate. Assume that for this particular item 5% is the tax rate. Sorry, you need to update it here. You need to update the amount. Here is the tax amount you need to update. The invoice value would be your taxable value plus the tax amount. And here you can see the reverse charge is ticked. If you want to untake it, you can click on this and you can untake it. Once you do that, you can click on create purchase entry. It will complete the transaction. If there are multiple items, you can click on this tab and you can create multiple items. Once you click on create purchase entry, since it is an interstate transaction, it is asking you whether to continue with the transaction or you want to change the status. If you want to continue, you can just click on continue. If you click on change, it will again take you back to the screen wherein you can uncheck it or whatever, because usually in case if a supplier or a person is doing a transaction between two different states, it is mandatory in GST to get registered under GST, to have a GSTN number. So that is the reason we have created the alert there. So if you click on this, click continue, the transaction would be created. So this is the transaction which we have created, and in case if you want to print, download or email the invoice, you can click on this button and you can do it. And to mark a transaction, whether it is a regular transaction or reverse charge, we have given this option. In case if you have this symbol, that means it is a reverse charge transaction. If there is no symbol, then it is a regular normal transaction. So if you just hover your mouse on this, you can see this as a reverse charge. And as I said, if you want to print, download or email, you can click on this button. And if you want to email this particular invoice, you can update the email ID and you can email the particular transaction, the invoice. Or if you want to download it or print the invoice, you can click on that and your invoice PDF will be generated. You can click on this button to download your invoice and you can save it in the folder where you want to save it in your system. Or if you want to print the transaction, you can click on this and you can print the transaction accordingly. Thank you.